Well, well, well. Would you look at that? This time on Eclipse Ruins 9-Year-Old Dreams, we're going to be taking a look at Rho Nautica. But before we do that, we got to address the elephant in the room, which is that Starbreeze, the company that owns Overkill, and by proxy Payday, has taken down Notoriety. I've been made acutely aware of this by some not so happy people in my comment section. Now, was I the reason that this was taken down? Maybe, but it probably has more to do with the fact that Payday 3 is coming out very soon. Whether I am or not, it shouldn't really matter, because the game was blatantly stolen and deserved to be taken down. So that moves us over to Rho Nautica. This is a game I got a singular DM about, and it was after I put out my Notoriety video, and I sort of just ignored it for a little bit until the recent developments, where I figured, you know what, here we go again, right? But you know what, after going through, playing the game, checking context clues, and just generally what's going on here, morally at the very least, I can't vouch for this getting taken down nearly as much as I can with Notoriety. Like, it's not even on the same playing field. But before we get to that, we gotta talk about the game itself. Of course, by the title itself, Rho Nautica is Roblox Subnautica. Shinrai12, I assume, big fan of Subnautica, decided that he wanted to remake the game in Roblox. And honestly, when it comes to a fair few things in this game, he did a pretty damn good job. I mean, seriously, this game, while extremely budget and having a ton of jank, has the entirety of Subnautica when it comes to story at the very least. The intro cutscene is there, the ship explosion is there, apparently the sunbeam explosion is there, albeit I didn't see it, maybe because I completed the game too quickly. You can explore the destroyed Aurora as well as fix the drive core. The captain's quarters with the rocket blueprint is there, and ironically the code is the same from Subnautica, because why wouldn't it be? The alien gun, Sea Emperor Leviathan, curing the disease, turning off the gun, and even the final cutscene. Like, it actually has all of those things. So of course that begs the question. If this game is just a copy and paste of Subnautica but in Roblox, why earlier did I say that morally I'm way less against this compared to Notoriety? Like, that shouldn't make any sense, right? If anything, this is more of a ripoff. It's more upfront about being a straight-up copy and paste job. And you know what? That's literally exactly why I'm not against this. I would go as far to say that I don't think Rho Nautica should be taken down at all, from a moral standpoint at the very least. Legality will get there, trust me. Shinrai made it very clear in the description of their game that Rho Nautica is a fan-made recreation of Subnautica developed by Unknown Worlds. This is not like Brickman's attempt to sell Payday 2 to people, but not call it Payday 2. Not only that, but as it stands right now, and hopefully forever, there are 0 game passes on this game. You cannot buy microtransactions at all. That on top of the fact that, of course, compared to Notoriety, there's basically nobody playing this game, and all of those things combine to make me fully believe that the person or people behind this were not going out of their way to make something for a quick buck. They were not trying to masquerade their game as something that was new and original, or some sort of way to not pay for Subnautica and play their game instead and pay them instead. Because I genuinely believe that that's exactly what happened with Notoriety, and it's why I don't really feel bad for their game getting taken down. Notoriety lifted the entirety of Payday 2. They took their maps, they took their weapons, they took their infamy system, they took their enemy types, everything. They took those, they recreated it in Roblox, and then they slapped on a different name and loaded it up with microtransactions. That is fucked up. That is going out of your way to make money off of someone else's property that you stole. This, on the other hand, is just not that. Or at least I don't think it is. I firmly believe that Shinrai and anyone else who helped him make this game was simply put a huge fan of Subnautica who had a passion project to remake the game in Roblox because they just enjoyed the game that much. I think they thought to themselves, hey, can I do this? And decided to try it, and while they were trying it, they were like, screw it, why not let other people join me in this process? Because it's pretty clear to me that Rho Nautica is not meant to replace Subnautica. It just can't be. And if it was an attempt to replace Subnautica or make people play Rho Nautica instead of Subnautica, I've misjudged everything, and on top of that, the people that were trying to do that have failed miserably. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of things that make Subnautica a very special game, and one of those things is 1000% the atmosphere. Rho Nautica does its best to try to mimic the atmosphere of Subnautica, but the reality is that mimicking something that's so expertly crafted is easier said than done. So easier said than done that I don't even think that Subnautica's own sequel, Subnautica Below Zero, does a very good job of it. There are very few games that I have ever played to match the uneasy atmosphere that Subnautica provides. Even going back to the game today, having godlike powers through console commands, and making myself invincible, I still caught myself looking around in the dark and getting nervous. I'm literally invincible. Nothing can hurt me, and I'm still worried about a Reaper Leviathan. That is the mark of a good game, plain and simple. The reality today is Rho Nautica is nowhere near complete and also full of massive amounts of jank. In fact, I don't even think you'd be able to complete Rho Nautica without having played Subnautica first, or at least having a really good idea of how everything in the game goes down. Because it seems to me like there's almost no direction on what the game wants you to do. So I don't know how the hell you'd complete this without having played Subnautica. There are areas of the map that are just total flat wasteland. There's only one scannable object with the scanner in the entire game. The Lost River and lava biomes are barely even Lost River and lava biomes, with most of it just literally being a cube corridor that goes all the way down into the depths of the map. After the first, 20 minutes of the game, you barely have to gather resources or build anything, because just about everything else in the game is, I assume, a placeholder, and so you don't need to do jack with it. Once you've repaired the Aurora's drive core and gotten the rocket blueprints, you can take your Seamoth and go complete the entire rest of the game without picking up any resources whatsoever. And resource management and finding new resources is a huge part of Subnautica that is just missing here. For reference, I completed the entirety of Rho Nautica in about an hour and 20 minutes, whereas Subnautica took me over 24 hours. So then the question becomes, what is the point? Why am I telling you all of this? Why am I telling you about all of the jank? Well, it's mostly to try to alleviate the people who are going to come into the comments section and tell me that it makes absolutely no sense that I think that Notoriety should be nuked from orbit, but this is probably okay. And to sort of appease those people, I'm just going to tell you right now that from a legal standpoint, this is not even a little bit okay. And if it got taken down, it would be 1000% justified. It would just be probably a little bit messed up from the developers of Subnautica, at least in my opinion. From a legal perspective, Rho Nautica is hella stolen. If not, it's arguably way more stolen than Notoriety ever was. We're talking, they've literally lifted music, PDA entries, I think maybe models from the game directly and plopped them into Roblox. Like, yeah, legally speaking, you sorta can't really do that. But you know what? At the end, whether it's morally okay or legally okay, it's not really up to me. People can absolutely, and rightfully so, place part of the blame for me taking Notoriety down and potentially Rho Nautica taken down solely based on the fact that I brought visibility to these issues. And when it comes to Notoriety, I'm glad I brought visibility to those issues because I'm just not okay with games profiting off of stolen properties. Like, morally, not okay with that. That's not cool. You can't just go around lifting games one for one and then monetizing the hell out of them and selling it to kids as if it's an original product when clearly it's not. Rho Nautica isn't trying to sell itself as an original product and also isn't trying to sell you microtransactions. So I think it's kind of alright in my book. But you know what? While we're here in Rho Nautica, there is one last thing that just sort of has to be done. It's got to be done out of principle almost, because it wouldn't be an Eclipse Subnautica video, even a Roblox knockoff Eclipse Subnautica video, if I let the leviathans live. Ah, hell. They respawn in this one.